Rain hammered the city like angry fists, turning gutters into rushing rivers and streets into slick black mirrors. Under the Highway 9 overpass, where the concrete curved into a shallow cave, 17-year-old Marco Diaz huddled beneath a frayed blue tarp stretched taut between milk crates. The space measured barely 6 feet across, cramped, damp, but dry enough to call home, at least for tonight. Marco watched a steady drip leak through a tear in the tarp, inching a puddle closer to his worn backpack. Inside lay his few possessions: a toothbrush with flattened bristles, 3 threadbare T-shirts, a faded photo of his grandfather, and his most precious item, an application form for the local community college paramedic program. The paper's edges had softened from countless foldings and unfoldings. He circled the address line again with a pencil stub scavenged outside the library. Just need a real address, he muttered to the rain. His stomach growled, a hollow ache he'd grown accustomed to in the 3 months since aging out of foster care. Last meal, half a sandwich from a kind woman at the park yesterday morning. Lightning flashed, briefly illuminating the initials he'd carved into a concrete pillar months ago, MD plus GD. Marco Diaz and Grandpa David. 4 years since cancer stole Grandpa, leaving Marco to bounce through foster homes until the system spat him out at 17, declaring him grown. The rain intensified as night deepened. Marco pulled his thin blanket tighter, remembering Grandpa's large hands guiding his smaller ones through first aid lessons in their tiny apartment kitchen. Always apply pressure to stop bleeding, Grandpa had said, demonstrating on an orange. And never leave someone alone when they're hurt. Sometimes company is the best medicine. Thunder cracked, shaking the ground. Then, a sound that didn't belong. Tires squealing, metal scraping concrete, followed by heavy silence. Marco froze, ears straining. A faint groan drifted through the storm. Without hesitation, he bolted from the shelter into the downpour. 20 yards away, near the intersection, a motorcycle lay on its side, wheels still spinning lazily. A large figure sprawled on the wet asphalt. Black leather vest gleamed under the streetlight. Blood mixed with rainwater beneath the man's head, forming pink swirls racing toward the drain. "Hey, can you hear me?" Marco knelt, rain soaking him instantly. The biker's eyes fluttered open, confused, pained. Patches read, Diesel, above, Hell's Angels, and Sacramento chapter. Marco stripped off his only dry shirt and pressed it firmly against the gash on Diesel's forehead. "Don't try to move. I'm calling for help." He grabbed the fallen phone, fingers shaking as he dialed 911. "I'm Marco," he said steadily, surprised by his own calm. "I'm staying right here with you until help comes." While waiting, he kept pressure on the wound, just as Grandpa taught. He talked to keep Diesel conscious, about his dream of becoming a paramedic, about Grandpa being a nurse before illness took him. Diesel's massive hand, tattooed, scarred, found Marco's wrist and gripped with surprising strength. "Kid," Diesel rasped, "you're something else." Marco shook his head, water dripping from his dark hair. Anyone would have helped, but he wondered if that was true. No one had helped him when he needed it most. Sirens grew closer. Paramedics arrived, efficient and quick. One, a woman with kind eyes, handed Marco a thin blanket. "You did good, kid." Marco watched the ambulance disappear, siren fading into the storm. Only then did the cold hit him fully, shivering violently, teeth chattering, bare-chested in the rain. Back under the overpass, he peeled off soaked jeans, wrapped himself in the damp blanket. The shelter leaked worse now. He pulled his backpack close, checked Grandpa's photo, still dry. The old man's smile stared back, crinkled eyes full of long-ago pride. Sleep came in fragments. Dreams of motorcycles and blood washing away in rain. He woke before sunrise, stomach cramping. Last clean shirt clung damply as he ventured into gray morning light. The crash site was empty now, only faint dark stains fading under drizzle. Marco walked the roadside, collecting aluminum cans in a plastic bag. 5 cents each, 20 for $1, 200 for a hot meal. By noon, maybe 30 cans, fingers stained from trash bins. He sat on a bus bench to rest, counting his treasures. Engines rumbled. 5 motorcycles approached, moving as one. They slowed, pulled to the curb. Marco's heart hammered. He stood, ready to bolt, legs heavy. Engines silenced. 5 men dismounted, all leather vests, patches, pins. The biggest, gray beard to chest, tattoos everywhere, stepped forward. You Marco. Marco nodded, clutching the can bag. Is Diesel okay? The question surprised even him. The big man's stone face softened. My brother's got 40 stitches in his head, broken arm. Doc says without you keeping pressure, he'd have bled out. Relief washed over Marco. I'm glad he's okay. The man, Bear, reached into a saddlebag, pulled out a folded leather vest. Marco took it, trembling. Unfolded. Front patch read, Marco, in bold. Back. The same skull logo, but below it, family. I don't understand, Marco whispered. Bear crossed massive arms. You saved my brother when nobody else stopped. In our world, that makes you family. He eyed Marco's thin frame, ragged clothes, can bag. Family doesn't let family live under bridges. Another biker stepped up. I'm Rex. That's Bear. Diesel told us where he crashed. Said you want to be a paramedic. Marco nodded, thinking of the impossible application. Bear studied him. You got somewhere to go, kid. Someone looking out. Tears pricked Marco's eyes. He shook his head. Rex's bike roared. Marco climbed on, arms tight around Rex's jacket. The others formed a protective circle, Bear leading. Sidewalk stared at the rumbling parade. They pulled into an alley behind a brick building, Angel's Auto Shop. Oil and rubber scent filled the air. Garage door open, cars in repair, tools neat, rock music playing. This is our place, Bear said. Fix cars front, live upstairs back. Inside, more vested men looked up. One, younger, scar through eyebrow, wiped hands on a rag. This the kid. Wrench, Bear introduced. Best mechanic in Sacramento. Wrench eyed Marco. Ever work on cars? Grandpa taught first aid. That's all. Bear clapped Marco's shoulder, nearly buckling him. Kid wants to be paramedic. Saved Diesel last night. A woman appeared, long gray braid, jeans, skull logo t-shirt. Don't stand there making him nervous. Boy looks half-starved. Mama Rosa, Bear's wife of 30 years. In the bright kitchen upstairs, she piled Marco's plate with eggs, bacon, toast. He ate slowly at first, then ravenously. She refilled without comment. The apartment was clean, warm, photos on walls, small dog snoring in corner. Through an open door, tidy bedroom. That room's empty since our son joined the army, Mama Rosa said. Yours if you want it. Marco nearly choked. Mine. Bear leaned on counter, arms crossed. Rules. No drugs, no trouble home. Help shop, keep room clean, stay school. In return, roof, food, family got your back. Why? Marco asked, burning question finally out. Rex leaned forward. 15 years ago, I slept under a bridge. Diesel found me, brought me here. Now I own part this shop. He tapped his vest. Not just club. We look out for our own. Afternoon. Marco helped Wrench change oil in blue sedan. Grease slicked hands, back ached, but warmth grew each time Wrench nodded approval. Sunset. Familiar rumble. Diesel arrived, arm casted, head bandaged, moving carefully. Face lit when he saw Marco. There he is. My guardian angel. Shop quieted. Diesel crossed, hugged Marco, good arm pulling tight. Thank you, he whispered, beard scratching ear. Thank you for stopping. Marco froze, then returned embrace. Others watched, quiet smiles. Tomorrow, Diesel said, stepping back, we go college. Fill application. Address problem. Thumb jerked ceiling. Not anymore. Not in Marco's chest loosened. Impossible felt possible. 6 months flipped like calendar pages. Winter to spring to early summer. Marco's room no longer borrowed. Posters of heart diagrams, CPR steps, textbooks neat on desk, morning light golden on floor. Mirror. No more hollow-eyed boy. Face filled, hands steady, strong from garage work. Biggest change. Crisp blue uniform, sleeves patched, name tag. Marco, EMTB. You admire all day, are we heading out? Diesel called. Cast gone, scars only reminders. Downstairs. Angels waited on bikes. Mama Rosa perched behind Bear, braid under helmet. All for Marco's first EMT day. Never thought one us work with law, Wrench joked. Pride shone. Rex handed Marco the family vest. Under uniform cold nights. Reminder who's got your back. Parade through streets, Marco centered, safe. Sidewalks waved, surprised at young EMT amid leather. Ambulance station. Crowd, classmates, instructors, that rainy night paramedics. Lisa, kind-eyed woman, stepped forward, shift supervisor now. Ready first 12 hours. Marco nodded, throat tight. Diesel pulled him aside, eyes bright. Your grandpa proud. Almost as proud as me. I wouldn't be here without you, all of you. You wrong, kid. Hero before us. We just gave place hang vest. Sky darkened, storm clouds like that night. Some say bad luck, me crashing rain. I say something else. Marco followed Lisa inside, glanced back, family mounting bikes. They'd return in 12 hours. No matter weather. Ambulance waited, white, red, ready. Marco touched cool metal. 6 months ago, watched one carry Diesel away. Now he'd help on worst days. Marco, call, Lisa said. Motorcycle accident. Highway 9. Shiver, not fear. Full circle. Sirens wailed, rain fell. Through windshield, heavy drops hit pavement. Marco thought of boy under overpass. How far come, how far go. Ambulance rounded corner. Angels waited at intersection, fists raised salute, vest shining rain. Last sight, Diesel, helmet up, face to sky, rain washing like blessing. Thank you, Marco whispered over sirens. For stopping, seeing me, everything. Ambulance sped into storm, toward someone else needing help. And Marco Diaz, once forgotten, now carried light into darkness, wearing uniform outside, family inside.